Thousands of Danes have signed a petition to purchase California from the U.S. A doctor faces some inquiry after giving his cat a CAT scan. And there's a mystery surrounding this baby shark that was born with no male involvement. These are the weird stories on Weird AF News, the only daily weird news podcast doing weird news daily. It's daily, it's weird, it's news. It's for you. Thousands of Danes have signed a petition to buy the state of California from the United States. Wow. Someone's come into some money, it sounds like. What's the going rate for a California these days? Is it 500 trillion? What do you think? It says here, in response to President Trump's continued musing about the U.S. acquiring Greenland from Denmark, the Danish citizens have spoken out. They've launched their own effort to purchase America's most economically prosperous state, California. There's an online petition that is seeking the, quote, Denmarkification of California, and it's gotten about 250,000 signatures with a pitch to Danish citizens that purchasing California would provide them with some more sunshine, dominance in the tech industry, limitless avocado toast, and easy access to Disneyland. Hilarious. Well, I could say as a resident of California for a number of years, after living in this state under American rule, I'm totally open to Danish rule. Let's see what our Viking overlords are going to bring to the table. Yeah, maybe they can offer us some pretty good beer and health care, I'd imagine. Maybe they'll make gas leaf blowers illegal. I would love to see gas leaf blowers removed from California. They're my public enemy number one in this state, I have to say. Now, there's a lot to hate about California, but if you've been around gas leaf blowers every single day that you've lived here for 8 years, they would drive you up a wall, trust me. I have some other concerns. Are the Danes going to keep weed legal? I need my weed legal. And what do they know about fighting fires? That's a concern of mine lately. It says here, according to the online petition page, the organizers ask, have you ever looked at a map and thought, you know what Denmark needs? Some more palm trees, some more sunshine, and roller skates. Well, we now have a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to make that dream a reality. The Danes who signed the petition are also encouraged to chip in for the fundraising goal of $1 trillion, give or take, which the organizers say would cost every citizen of the Scandinavian nation approximately 28,000 USD. Well, I don't see how 1 trillion is going to cut it, considering that the GDP of California is about 4 trillion a year. I mean, we are the fifth largest economy in the world for 7 straight years. So 1 trillion is, I don't believe that's enough. You might be able to buy Catalina Island for that. I'm not sure. I don't know why you'd want Catalina Island. It's definitely got the sunshine you're looking for. So I guess this is the plot twist in that we're also learning that the Danes can really only afford to buy Bakersfield. A lot of dirt parking lots in Bakersfield, if you know what I mean. It says executives of the Lego Corporation and the cast of Danish political drama Borgen would negotiate the deal on behalf of the Scandinavian nation, and organizers said they would throw in a lifetime supply of Danish pastries to sweeten the deal. Ooh, lovely. I love Danish pastries. Now you got my ear, Danes. I suppose it could work. You could make Solvang the capital. Have you ever been to Solvang, California? It's like a miniature Dutch town. And, there's like windmills and women wearing clogs serving huge steins of beer and sausage. It's quite a fun little trip. I recommend it if you're ever traveling like north from Los Angeles to, let's say, the Bay. Just stop into Solvang. Have a beer and a sausage. It's a good time. I'd imagine the Danes would be pretty upset, though, after buying California and then realizing that they have to pay for most of the taxes in the U.S. now, because that's what California does. Now, this petition, obviously, is a tongue-in-cheek rebuttal to Trump's fixation on acquiring Greenland, which I read this morning. He intends to name Red, White, and Blue Land. I mean, you can't make this up, right? If you think you're living in a dystopian, hallucinogenic reality, you are. Danish Prime Minister Fredrickson called Trump's desire to obtain Greenland absurd, which led to the president canceling a trip to visit Copenhagen during his first presidency. Greenland's own leader, last name Agedi, echoed the statement, saying it's currently not for sale. But since returning to office, Trump and his allies have renewed calls for Greenland to join the U.S., with the president even saying the majority of Greenland citizens actually want to become American citizens, although a recent poll of his citizens found that was not even close to being true. I don't know why you wouldn't want to join the U.S. Don't you enjoy $4,000 ambulance bills when you go to the ER? The article goes on to say, so while the prospect might sound enticing for some Californians who are interested in the perks of a little bit of a Danish lifestyle, including bike-centric infrastructure, improved public transit, socialized healthcare, baked goods, not even a political adversary like Trump would let the Golden State go without a fight. The same message organizers hope to convey to their own citizens with this petition. And in the meantime, Californians in favor of becoming New Denmark will just have to settle for a day trip to Santa Barbara County, home of the Danish capital of the U.S. Oh, yeah, they're referring to Solvang, which I mentioned earlier. Lovely place. Highly recommend it. Although there might be some stern competition to make Legoland the capital as well. But I'm open for either place. A doctor is in trouble after giving his cat a CAT scan at an Italian hospital. Well, I mean, how are you supposed to scan a cat? It's a CAT scan. You tell me, genius. You can't use a dog scan to scan a cat. You got to use a CAT scan. Let's keep reading and find out what the results were. Was it, in fact, a cat? I'm on the edge of my seat. We have an Italian doctor that has been placed under investigation after giving his own cat a CAT scan at a hospital before performing a life-saving operation on the feline. Wow, this is like a super doctor. The doctor's name is Gianluca Finelli. Just amazing names in Italy, huh? They all sound like a delicious dish. Gianluca Finelli took his cat, named Athena, to the Umberto Perini Hospital in the northern Italian region, where he is a manager of the radiology unit until this was after the cat fell from a roof, so the cat was injured. Finelli said, quote, "My cat, she was between life and death. I knew I could only save her with a quick intervention." So Finelli acted quick. He took Athena and gave her a brief CAT scan, and then he performed pneumothoracic surgery on her in the unit's angiography suite. So he's basically using his workplace to save his cat's life. She survived the ordeal, thankfully, but the local health authority was not pleased and undertook an internal inquiry into the incident and referred the case to prosecutors who say that Dr. Finelli could face charges of wasting public money and depriving patients of essential services. Oh, no. How did he deprive the patients of essential services? Was there a long line for the CAT scan, and then he just cut the line with his cat? Sorry, guys. My cat fell off a roof. I got to give it a CAT scan right now. In his defense, Dr. Finelli said he used the hospital equipment after hours when all the x-rays scheduled for the day had been completed. Okay, so there wasn't a long line of patients waiting there at the machine. Dr. Finelli says no other patients were booked in for urgent tests at that time at all. Tricky situation. He's obviously using equipment that he does not own, although he is a lead doctor over there and is in charge on some level. There's probably definitely something in his employee handbook that says, do not use our equipment to service your relatives, friends, and pets. I'd imagine. I don't know. So in that sense, he may have broken a rule that was set forth by his employer. Athena, the cat, who fell 6 floors from the roof of a building where the family lived, was one of 5 stray cats that Dr. Finelli said he had rescued from the street and saved from extreme conditions. Wow, this guy just takes in stray cats. That's a lot. Finelli, I think you got a stray cat problem. But that's nice of this guy. He cares. He says, quote, "I'm sorry if all of this led to a violation of the rules." He also added that he was ready to reimburse the hospital if his actions proved costly. Okay, so he's owning up to it, and he's saying, I'll pay you back if you want to charge me. Okay, so if he wants to pay, and you need that for everybody to feel okay about this procedure, then let him pay for it. He says, being a doctor means carrying out a mission The driving force is precisely the life that flows in the eyes of those who entrust themselves to our care. And this life flows in every living being. If my cat had died, I would never have been able to forgive myself, especially because my children adore her. All right, I see no issues here. I've heard the complaints, and I've heard his side of the story. I say pardon this doctor and immediately give him more cats to scan. For science! You scan away, Finelli. Save the pets. I don't know. What do you guys think of this? Should he be fired or suspended or whatever they're thinking of doing for saving his cat using the equipment at his workplace? Call the show. 646-450-2012.
I can say to my new Samsung Galaxy S25 Ultra, hey, find a keto-friendly restaurant nearby and text it to Beth and Steve. And it does, without me lifting a finger. So I can get in more squats anywhere I can. 1, 2, 3.
Will that be cash or credit?
Credit. 4.
Galaxy S25 Ultra, the AI companion that does the heavy lifting so you can do you. Get yours at Samsung.com. Compatible with select apps. Requires Google Gemini account. Results may vary based on input. Check responses for accuracy.
Hey, Todd, Daddy, how you doing?
A mystery as a baby shark is born with no male involvement. It's the sound of science. Boop, 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 science. To quote Ian Malcolm, played by Jeff Goldblum in the movie Jurassic Park, life finds a way. And that's certainly the case for the newest member of a Louisiana aquarium who was born without any male involvement. The swell shark pup named Yoko hatched in January from an egg laying in a tank occupied only by 2 female sharks, neither of whom had encountered a male in more than 3 years. So this shark was born with no male involvement. Shark Jesus, I think, right? I love you, Shark Jesus. All hail, Shark Jesus. Let's try not to crucify this one, guys, okay? Now, it says Yoko the shark, born of no male involvement, is currently being closely monitored by staff at the Shreveport, Louisiana Aquarium. So for the present, they are not available for visitors to see. So you're not going to be allowed to see the Jesus shark just yet. Here's a quote from Greg, who's the aquarium's curator of live animals. Greg says, "This situation is incredible, and it shows the resilience of this species. It really proves that life, always finds a way, don't it?" Well, Greg's really excited about this. Have they interviewed the Vatican yet to see what they say about this? Jesus has returned, and he's hungry for fish. Salvation lies in tuna sashimi. Now, it says here the aquarium has 2 theories to explain the mysterious circumstances around young Yoko the Jesus shark's birth. One possibility is that this represents a case of parthenogenesis, which is a rare form of asexual reproduction exhibited in sharks that allows them to give birth without needing to mate. Well, I mean, that's got to be annoying, right? If you're trying to live out your single life, you're trying to enjoy the fruits of your free time, your expendable cash, and then you just randomly prego. That just sounds, I would hate that. But, maybe the sharks enjoy this. It says the sharks are not the only species known to undergo parthenogenesis. The phenomenon has also been recorded in species of bird, fish, lizard, and snake. I heard turkeys can do this as well. That might be just a rumor in the streets. In the foul streets that I roam. Alternatively, it says it could be that Yoko's mother mated with a male years ago, but the fertilization process was delayed. Delayed years? Is that even biologically possible? Oh, man, this sounds like it's going to be a really wild Jerry Springer episode to find the father on this one. We got another quote from Greg, who's really excited. He's like, "We are so excited about the coming months to confirm whether this was indeed a case of parthenogenesis or if it was delayed fertilization. Oh, my goodness, I'm up all night thinking about parthenogenesis and delayed fertilization. Hee. Oh, nerds. Good for them, though. They get excited about such things. Now, it says once Yoko, the shark, the baby Jesus shark, has reached a large enough size to safely draw blood from, the aquarium will analyze the DNA to determine how it was born. In the meantime, a close watch is being kept on the aquarium's special charge. Sadly, it says, young sharks born in such unusual circumstances often face significant developmental challenges. Well, we hope baby Jesus shark makes it at the end of the day and then does something cool, like turns the ocean into wine. Oh, man. Oh, boy. I haven't been to the beach in a while, but I would know what I'm doing as soon as the ocean turns into wine. I'm going to grab my cheese board and hit the shore, baby.
This episode is brought to you by Amazon. Sometimes the most painful part of getting sick is the getting better part. Waiting on hold for an appointment, sitting in crowded waiting rooms, standing in line at the pharmacy, that's painful. Amazon One Medical and Amazon Pharmacy remove those painful parts of getting better with things like 24/7 virtual visits and prescriptions delivered to your door. Thanks to Amazon Pharmacy and Amazon One Medical, healthcare just got less painful.
Jesus shark, Jesus shark, Hi, my friends and my loyal listeners, and all listeners, whether you're loyal or not. I just want to say I appreciate you spending some time with my podcast, Weird AF News. I realize there's a gazillion, billion, trillion podcasts out there, so you chose to spend some time with mine, and I just want you to know that I appreciate that. We'll keep it brief for you, as I tend to do. If you would like to reach out because you want to email me, it's funnyjones@gmail.com. You can also send me any articles that you come across that you think are appropriate for the show. Appreciate that. The weirder, the better. Try not to go too far on the grotesque side. I get a lot of articles that are very, very morbid. And I'm just not going to do those, all right? I'm trying to uplift us, not bring us down in general. But yeah, I do enjoy a good weird story, so don't hesitate sending those over. Also, you can slide them into my DMs at FunnyJones on the Instagrams. That's right. And if you want to support the show, there's ways you can do that. Let's say you just, you won some money on the Super Bowl and you're just feeling like spreading the wealth. Well, you go to weirdafnews.com where you can join the Patreon or you can buy me a coffee, those sorts of things. I highly recommend the Patreon. It's like, signing up to buy me a coffee every month. But you get extra access to extra weird content that I create and put out there and personal stuff. I'm going to be recording another bonus episode very shortly, and I'll put that on there as well. So you actually get a bonus episode as well. Very, very cool. Patreon.com/WeirdAFNews or go to WeirdAFnews.com. And good luck with your life, man.